vague memory when I was a small child, my grandfather in the graveyard. Push the auger as hard as possible into the old wooden granary's bottom hole. Put a rock behind the wheel so the auger doesn't roll. Wrap the rope around the pulley and give a long, hard pull. The Briggs and Stratton motor pops and runs and rattles. Pull the lever to tighten the belt and make the auger turn. The belt squeals and the old motor bogs but doesn't stall. Grain starts to huff from the end of the auger. After a few minutes, you start to dismantle the door from the top till it's big enough to crawl into with a shovel. I climb up and peer into the dust, and there you are, shovel impossibly full, pulling grain to a hungry hole. There are sparkles on the dust from the sunlight that peers through tiny holes in the roof. Methodically, you pull scoops of grain away from the walls, revealing old squirrel holes that have been covered with tin can lids between the studs. Somehow you shovel seemingly tirelessly while sucking the grain dust, till the twisting auger's end appears and you pull grain towards it, knee-deep. Your baggy unbuttoned sleeves and two long pant legs somehow never get grabbed by the end of the twisting auger. Scrape the corners clean and between the studs, down to the floor, leaving only plywood patches and seeds between the cracks. Feed the auger the last shovelfuls into the twisting auger. When the grain is empty, you crawl out through the top of the door and pull the spark plug wire off the auger motor, and it sputters to a stop. You are covered with a fine and possibly itchy layer of oak dust, but somehow don't scratch at it, and you roll a cigarette from your pouch of tobacco. Breathing the smoke into those lungs that must be as parched and dusty as those old granary walls. Those piercing blue eyes sparkling like rays of sun off of grain dust. From the grain truck cab, you pull a stubby beer bottle and two sandwiches wrapped in wax paper and hand me one. The bottle's cap is knocked off with a swift smack of the fist after carefully resting it on the edge of the auger motor's gas tank, and the warm beer goes down into your tall, thin frame, and you are expressionless. You eat the simple sandwich while holding it between the wax paper, once in a while tugging with false teeth on the edge of the paper as if pulling some gristle with the beef. Then another cigarette rolled with those nicotine-stained fingers. And you tell me a fox-headed pups under the granary this spring, and sit and watch as I go lay down to look under and investigate. But all I saw was the rotten bottoms of floor joists and odd patches of oats, roots grasping each other and holding on for life. The seed had fallen through small holes and then sprouted, but would never make it. Lime green and sun-starved. It was September and a day as yellow and dry as bone dust. Funny little sods.